here for Tune In Thursday. Before I introduce my beautiful friend, just to let you know that today you are in the Tune In Thursdays Facebook Live in the You Have It In You Facebook group, and that I support overworked and burnt out women who feel stuck with where they're at in life. They feel like they've lost sense of their purpose, but they're ready to live life with more meaning. And I support them to transition confidently, leap fearlessly towards their purpose while creating a fulfilling life using my Tune In method. And I'm so excited that you get to meet my friend, Sabrina Bolin, Soul Alignment Coach. Welcome, Sabrina.
Oh, thank you so much, Claudia-Sam. I'm so excited to be here and to just co-create this space. Hi, hello, happy to see you. But yeah, this is very exciting. I love and honor your energy and the beautiful impact you're making in the world. So I'm very excited about us amplifying that together today.
Yes, so excited. Thank you. And ladies, let us know you're here. Gayleen, I see you're there. So glad that you're watching with us. Thank you. Our topic for Tune In Thursdays today will be 5 tips on how to actually be motivated and how to keep your energy up and stay healthy, even if you have kids around or if you have either you're right there at the forefront of the pandemic or you're working from home. I know it's all a roller coaster for everyone and we're all trying to find our way. So we'll do the 5 tips, and then at the end, Sabrina will lead us into a nice meditative trance that will help us align with what we need right now. Are we ready? Yay. Okay. So let us know you're here, ladies. And if at any point you have some insights or some personal situations you'd like to share with us that you lack motivation in, or that you would like more personalized help on how to up your energy, just write it in the chat and we'll be sure to address that if we can. All right. So to begin, our tip number 1 would be to really understand and honor the feelings and whatever is happening, even though it's an up and down sensation and situation at this time. And we want you to know that you're not alone in whatever you're feeling, whatever you're experiencing, and that it's really important for you to be like kind and compassionate with yourself with whatever's happening, and to know that it's okay. It really is okay if one day you're motivated and another day you're not, for example, right? Is there something else around that you'd like to add, Sabrina?
No, I think that the acceptance piece, right, is something that if we can look at anything, and it's not about us bypassing and saying, what's the big lesson and how can we make this all about awakening? But if we can see little bright spots, one of those bright spots can be this opportunity to bring more compassion and awareness to our moment-to-moment experience. And it's so intensified and it's so amplified for everyone right now that it's hard to miss. Whereas when we're almost kind of like distracted and numb and just going about our day-to-day life, we don't really know what's going on until we kind of stop or something stops us. But right now, because it's all so jarring, we almost have to stop and say, what was that? And what am I going to do about that now? And how can I just be with that now? So yeah, I just want to reflect that this can be a little opportunity, I call them little doorways in. So just if we just see it as that and that tiny little gift that it is, then it'll open a space in our heart to have that compassion for ourselves as we navigate it, whatever way and however ways we do that.
Yeah, and it's not like we've actually practiced this all our lives, right? To be faced with a pandemic. Hi, Natalie. Hi, Mersada. So nice that you're there as well. Great. Well, thank you. Now we can hop on to tip number 2.
Yeah, so I'm going to share a tip that comes from my world and my background. So I'm trained as a hypnotherapist and I'm a soul alignment coach. And a lot of what we are doing every single day is we're operating on, excuse me, on habits. And usually those habits are very unconscious. So again, bringing back in from tip number 1, that compassion and that awareness to recognize that I like to say it's not really your fault, it's your brain's fault. It's just operating at its most efficient pace, which is to do what it knows how to do based on past experience and past habits. So 3 tips for actually shifting your habits right now to make them more supportive actually comes from James Clear's work. And he has a mountain of research on habits. And he actually wrote an excellent book called Atomic Habits. And in that book, he actually has 4 processes, but I'm going to focus on the first 3. And the first 3, and he calls them actually the laws of habits, and I'm going to share them with you, is that first you want to make it obvious. So by that, you want to make what you want to do obvious. And so I'll give you an example of this. Let's say that you want to meditate for 3 minutes every morning before you start your day. One of the things that I was doing to help me do this is that I would actually put my cushion like just really right next to the bed, so that as I was getting up, it's like my feet got on the cushion. I was like, what's that? It's almost like you have to trip over the thing that's going to support you. So it's obvious. It becomes something, and it's almost a visual cue to yourself that, oh, this is what I want to do. The second tip with that is that you actually want to make it attractive. And so maybe instead of not just putting the cushion there, maybe I'll put a little blankie next to there. So it's something that looks cozy and inviting, and as inviting as it might be to stay in bed and to not get off and to get on my cushion, at least I have something that gives me that same thing that I'm getting from being in bed, that same comfort. So I'm like, okay, well, this is a little bit more attractive than just staying in bed because I can stay cozy and it's there and it's obvious. And then you want to make it easy for yourself. And so I kind of started that with the beginning when I said, starting with 3 minutes. And many of us, we may have, depending on where you're coming from on your journey with mindfulness practices, you might have been doing 20 minutes twice a day or 2 hours in the morning. And so all of a sudden, though, this is not as easy because you might be juggling more. And if you're a parent, you might have homeschooling on top of doing work, on top of relationships and all the opportunities and challenges that come with that, with everyone being under one roof. So making it really easy for yourself, and starting so small. And that's why I love, like, the name of his book is Atomic Habits. It's atomic. It's a tiny little shift. But when you do that tiny shift consistently, yeah, you should check it out. That's what builds.
And what's the name of the guy again?
James Clear.
James Clear. So ladies, I'm going to write this in the comments. So if ever you want to Google it or find it, you'll have it.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, I love that idea of tripping over the thing that will give you the most well-being or the most self-care. I really love that idea. I'm going to try it, which actually brings me to our tip number 3, ladies, because I think both of us believe that to gain more motivation and to have more self-care and to have more energy, it starts at the beginning of the day. Like if you trip on your cushion to meditate for 3 minutes at the beginning of your day, you kind of set the tone for the rest of the day. So I ask you, ladies, what is one thing that you can do from the morning on that will help you feel motivated because it's something that will spark a light in you? So because okay, I'm guilty of loving to snooze. I love to snooze, but snoozing doesn't it doesn't help me because it takes away that first part of creativity and of motivation that I can get from the early morning, still being in that subconscious kind of realm of my subconscious, of almost being asleep, right?
Yeah.
So when I cannot snooze, I feel more motivated. For example, yoga and meditation in the morning, breathing, anything that will connect you to yourself without your phone on. And now this is something super important as we are connected to technology daily. Please, ladies, turn your phone off. Put it on airplane mode and then only turn it back on when you're ready to connect to the outside world. The morning time to help be motivated and have that energy is to nurture the connection to you first thing in the morning without the phone, without the technology, without the news, and then you can progressively add it into your day as you move on.
Yeah, I think that's a beautiful insight. And specifically, like you said, with the phone, and also I would say with news, right? And however you end up consuming your news right now, I think it's so important to create those loving boundaries. And when I say loving boundaries, I think that, again, I keep bringing back this. I'm very conscious about not bypassing and not us being so, woo, like life is so wonderful and nothing's going on. I think that that's not very grounded either. I think it's a combination of having that connection to your higher self so that you have this grounded sense of resilience that allows you to see the suffering, that allows you to see the pain and see the opportunity with a new lens. And so one of my clients actually, she's actually a lawyer, and so she has been a news junkie for a long time. And we were working through this and talking about this, and I said, what would that look like for you to not check the news until 2 p.m.? And she was like, well, that would change everything. I go, you still get it. You still can get in there. You can have conscious boundaries and say, for the next hour, I'm just going to take all my stuff. But you have all morning long been tending to your needs, and not just your needs, but you've got that self-care in the morning, but also this motivation, this idea of also what's important to you, whether that's the work you're doing or what you're bringing into the world or being with your family. You're tending to what's more in your control and what's more important to you. And then you're allowing yourself to broaden it out and say, and I am a part of this larger experience.
Mhm.
And now can I be in this? And how can I be in this? Because I am grounded in who I am and my
Yeah.
own inner voice.
So good. Ladies, let us know. Do you watch the news these days? Let us know, yes or no, if you watch the news and how it impacts you. We'd love to know how affected you are by the news in these times. What could it look like for you if you were not to watch the news as often as you are used to? For example, my boyfriend and I kind of made a pact where we said, okay, we watch one press conference of our premiere once a week. For the important stuff. I mean, everything is important, but you get the gist.
Totally.
Yeah. Okay. So number one, really feel into knowing that it's okay to have the roller coaster kind of feelings that we have not prepared for a pandemic all our lives, and to feel that compassion from your heart, to feel into these emotions and to honor them. The second step that we suggested, ladies, was to really implement like a 3-minute meditation or 3-minute connecting to who you are from the moment that you wake up, and to, like Sabrina suggested, to have like a cushion with making it cozy for you to go to for the first thing you do when you wake up. And then step number 3 would be to find something that is motivating for you from the moment you wake up, like that meditation. If there's something else that can help you connect to you before you connect to the outside, like the news, do that. And then to go straight into number 4, basically, what can help you give yourself bursts of energy throughout the day? For example, what I love to do is to put on a song that just gets me going, and I just dance in my living room. Some of you might have seen my little dance on Instagram, but it's just so much fun for me, and that gives me energy, because I don't know about you, but I feel a dip in my energy sometimes in the afternoon. And so a dance or having a smoothie that's full of vitamins that you can just drink. Like, you can make one smoothie for the week and just have shots throughout the day, throughout the week, so that it gives you that burst of energy. Or, making sure that you eat food, noticing the colors and the shapes and the textures without watching TV at the same time. That's also a great way to gain energy from the food and to not let your energy be distracted somewhere else. Is there something else that you do during the day, Sabrina, to up your energy?
Yeah, I was going to say that, this is going to be different for everyone depending on where you're living, what the weather looks like, but nature, right? And even though right now we are being responsible and we are giving one another space, and even if it's cold outside, opening a window, and I
Mm.
just did that this morning. I opened some of the windows and just having a moment. So whether that's in the morning or the afternoon as a pick me up, I know I'm so fortunate because I do live in Southern California. So, I definitely go in my backyard. I barefoot walk on the ground. But if that's not something that's accessible to you, then bring it back. Okay, well, can I open a window? Okay, is it freezing cold? That's not accessible. Do you have a plant? It can be something, again, this goes back to those atomic habits. How do you just keep making it accessible? Because there is some little way in. And if you are even in a space where there's not a plant, it's too cold, I can't do any of these things. This is why I love the work that I do, because your unconscious mind doesn't know the difference between the imagery you show it and the actual experience of you having it. And so if you just go in and visualize yourself in a space in nature that you've either been before and you love, a sandy beach, the mountains, a forest, and just take a moment, just one breath. And just feel yourself rejuvenated by Pachamama, by nature, right? And so that for me is so rejuvenating, and not just rejuvenating, but it actually is just so aligning. It just kind of knocks me back into what's real
Mm.
and what's important and what's lasting.
Mm.
Because that's the other thing, is that we don't know how long this is going to last, but this is not going to last forever. And so, but nature, she'll be there. She'll
Yeah.
always be there.
And we have the choice, right? We have the choice to tune into that visualization and to
Yeah,
access parts of energy and parts of motivation that we can find within ourselves, or we can choose to close the door to it and not see it, right?
totally.
Ladies, I don't think I've actually introduced Sabrina properly at the beginning. So I told you she's my friend and she's amazing and you need to meet her. But I didn't tell you what she does. So I did say she's a soul alignment coach, but Sabrina helps spiritually conscious women who are struggling with anxiety because they're feeling disconnected from actually taking action on what they really want in their lives. And she helps them through hypnosis. She helps them to rewire the subconscious brain, the subconscious mind, and to shift their energy so that they really become trusting themselves to make choices that are aligned with their values, and so that they create lives that their souls intended them to have. So at the end, we're going to take the time. Sabrina's going to lead us into our step number 5, and then she's going to lead us into a meditation trance that will feel really good, because all her meditations feel good.
Thank you. And I was noticing someone had asked the question about explaining a meditation to do without the use of the phone.
Right, Gailey.
And yes, and I will address that at the end as well. When
Right.
I take you into trance, I will kind of teach you a little process that you can do anywhere without anything besides you and yourself and your beautiful unconscious mind.
Yes, because yes, okay, so I'll address that too later. Go
Yeah.
ahead with number 5.
So tip number 5 is at the end of the day, and you really can do this anytime, but I love that we've kind of, gone over the shape of your day and how can you wake up
Yeah.
and, clear your energy, have good intentions, start off on the right foot. But really ending your day, Claudia-Sam had shared with like a gratitude practice, and I specifically call it moments of appreciation. And so for me, it's a subtle difference, but here's how I see it, is that life is but a collection of moments. It's, we try to kind of shade it and say, oh, my day was like this, or, oh man, that was a rough year. But
Mm.
when you really kind of sink into it, it was, well, maybe, but it had this little moment. And oh, yeah, I remember that when that happened. So if you can actually create and cultivate a practice for yourself to reframe your life as these moments, it actually begins to open up a space in your mind and your brain that wants to kind of categorize everything and instead give you more bright spots. And so what this might look like, for example, is at the end of the day, you might choose whatever number, again, 3, something simple, something small, something accessible and easy. And then you can expand it out if you're on a roll. But writing out 3 moments that you just appreciated. And so this, when I say this is different than gratitude, because gratitude sometimes we attach with something we have.
Yeah, like material, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I love my home, or I love my job, or, you're just like, and sometimes in this changing time, we don't have some of those things, but we do have moments. And so, so for example, going on my neighborhood walk, and I see one of my neighbors with their mask on and they're across the street, and you can almost see the smile in their eyes because we still see each other, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
hey, you hear the muffled, hey, how are you? And it was just kind of like this little moment where I still had a connection across the street with someone, and it didn't matter that their space was there and the masks were on. We still said, hey, how are you? And so I might write down that my moment when, crossing down the street and I heard that muffled, hey, how are you? That was a moment of appreciation. Or, when I have a 4.5-year-old son. So my son comes running in, and I see him pick up the mallet for my sound bowl. And I just see him do a little ding, and so, or I hear that in the other room. That's just a moment. I'm like, oh, he's tuning to his heart chakra, and so I would write down and so that's why you don't even have to get too far, because you'll remember, it'll reactivate that moment for you.
Mm.
So, ending your day with that, or any kind of gratitude practice. But what it really is that, we have in our brains the negativity bias, which is just a holdover from our biology, from our caveman days. And I say that our biology has not caught up to our technology. So we are in more abundant times than we were back when we were running from, saber-tooth tigers.
Yeah.
And so we don't have the same actual moment to moment fears. Yes, we are living in a heavy time where there are real physical fears, but it's not necessarily every single moment. But our brains still don't know that. And so they say that it takes for every one negative thought, 10 positive ones to counterbalance it. And so when you have some kind of practice in place that you show up for that becomes a habit, that you can allow your brain to operate and to draw from new examples, so that when you say, well, how was your day yesterday? All of a sudden it goes now to those moments. You're like, I had some nice moments. I had some nice moments I really appreciate. Yeah, it was all right. My day was all right. And it
It's
starts to
so
shift
true.
everything.
Yeah, so true. Because the facing with the tigers, kind of fight or flight stress, we
Yeah,
get that same response by opening an email that doesn't like sit well with us.
totally. Yeah,
So
your
it's
brain doesn't know.
that, no, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I want to honor our time, and I would love to take us in a little trance if you guys would like to go into trance.
Yeah.
And I want to explain what I mean by when I say go into trance. So we're
So,
going, yes,
before you do, let's answer Galen's
yes,
question. Um,
yes.
so about meditation without the use of the phone, Galen, for example, um, what I do is that I turn, because I love using an app like Insight Timer,
Mm-hmm.
and I just make sure that my phone is on airplane mode, but I turn the Wi-Fi on, but I go straight to the Insight Timer app. I don't go
Okay.
anywhere else. I don't let notifications of anything else come on. That's if I want to use the app. Otherwise, I just use me.
Yeah.
Because you, Sabrina, I think you had a tip on how to do it on your own.
Yeah, yeah. I think that, well, in the most basic sense, let's say if you wanted to just focus on your breath, and we'll do that as we go into this trance as well. But I think that, I love what you're saying about as well, this idea of like, use your phone, don't use your phone, because sometimes technology, and a lot of times technology, look at us now. It's our friend. It's here to support us. It's here to help us stay connected. It's here also to give us containers and boundaries. And even if it's something as simple as a timer, a meditation timer, and you don't even have to use Insight Timer. If you can literally just use your timer,
Yep.
hey Siri, set timer for 3 minutes kind of thing. Just kidding, Siri, don't do it. she's always responding, thank you. She literally is like, no, turn it off. But you know what I'm saying? It can be as simple as that. So you don't even have to touch it. You say it, you just set it, and then, set in some beautiful chime. And you know that whatever it is that this container you've created, the time is, the space is complete. You can go longer if you like, but you have honored that little space, that little 3 minutes. So here's the
Totally.
practice I'm going to offer you. So again, like I said, around trance and around hypnosis, I will give a quick definition, because some people, there are some misconceptions, and there are sometimes I guess there's fears. It's funny because people told me that. I was like, really? Because when people work with me, I was like, it's so expansive and so wonderful and feels so good. But I can understand this idea of, oh no, it's mind control. What hypnosis is simply a focused state of awareness where your limiting conscious mind is turned way down, and your expansive unconscious mind, your creative intuitive mind, is turned way up. And we actually go in and out of trance all the time. And so if you're someone who drives, you may have, and most likely have, arrived somewhere and said, yeah, I don't know how I got here, but it happened. You're there safely because things had gone on autopilot. Things had gone to the unconscious. And so with that, you're able to now, with hypnosis, direct the trance that you want to have, right? And you can become more intentional. And so one way that I'm going to offer to do that is, wherever you are now, comfortably seated, I want you just to actually just first look off straight in front of you, whatever your eye line is, and then begin to lift your eye line. So you're going to find a point of focus slightly above your eye line. And it might be a spot on the wall or a discoloration in the paint. But just imagine that you can just focus all of your energy, your intention, your awareness on that point of focus. And then I want you to imagine now that you can actually pour out your thoughts. Maybe just a stream is coming out of your third eye all the way to that point of focus. Just notice what happens when you do that. And it can feel like whatever it feels like for you. This is your experience to have in this life as you imagine now those thoughts going to that point slightly above your eye line. And now, with your eyes still focused on that point, I invite you to start to take in maybe a foot or two on either side without moving your eyes. So allow just kind of the peripheral to expand out just a little bit from that point of focus, slightly above your eye line. With your eyes still open but staying still, begin to expand out now your awareness all the way to the edge of your peripheral vision. So right there where things begin to blur and disappear and fade away, just allow yourself to take in that whole space from that point of focus outward, radiating outward, expanding and opening your awareness. And I'll do it one more time. And as you do so, allowing your awareness to expand out until it reaches the very edge of your peripheral vision. And then allow your imagination to fill in the gaps. What's beside you without moving your eyes, and behind you, all the way to the back of your head, taking in that entire space around you, beside of you, and then all the way back to that point of focus, slightly above your eye line. Noticing what you notice is happening to your mind and your body as you allow that to go one more time, expanding out your awareness to your peripheral vision, all the way behind you, all the way in front of you again, all the way back to that point of awareness. And as I count from 3, 2, 1, allow yourself to close your eyes, allow yourself to relax and release, to go inward, to go into this beautiful space of relaxation inside of your body. Imagining now just a warm golden light starting from the crown of your head and washing over your face, around the back of your head, and swirling around your throat and your neck, your shoulders, your chest, releasing, relaxing as you go, all the way down into your belly, the middle of your back, your pelvis and your lower back, and just spiraling and swirling and washing and releasing down into your seat, feeling more grounded as it pulls into your legs, gently cleansing and clearing, refreshing into your legs and your knees, and down into your calves and your ankles, and all the way out your feet. Now imagining that that energy can just keep going out, down through your feet, into the earth and the layers of the earth, down, 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 even further, even deeper, until it reaches the very center of the earth, a swirling ball of energy that is the center of the core of our earth, the earth from which you came from. Your body will return one day, and so you are always connected with your intention, pulling forth that powerful earth energy up, 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 all the way through the layers, into your feet, into your legs, into your core, into your belly, into your heart, into your throat, into your mind, and feeling that swirling with that peaceful relaxation, being both at peace and rejuvenated. And in just a moment, I'm going to count you back from 1 to 5. But before I do, I invite you to allow your hands to take whatever shapes they want to take. Create a mudra. Perhaps your fingers will touch or your hands will come together. Give yourself just a moment to activate your mudra. And it's your own mudra. This is you. And so now, once you have that activated, I want you to just let it go. And then one more time, pull it back together and just feel all of that energy coming back into your body, reactivating, re-anchoring, revivifying the sensations within you. Trusting that whenever you need this, you can simply allow your hands to call forth and pull into your energy body exactly what you need. With each number that I count, you'll feel more whole, more present, more connected to yourself and your life as it is today. Starting with the number 1, beginning to feel now the movement in your fingers and your toes. 2, feeling that energy again, pulling into your legs and your arms, into the center of your being. 3, feeling your core aligned on purpose. Your purpose here is to love and be loved. 4, feeling your heart radiating so powerfully, but also open to receive all the love and support that is coming to you. 5, your mind at peace, yet activated and aware. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you're ready, you can gently open your eyes and return to the now.
Cry.
Welcome back.
It's snowing in front of me, and yet the sky is blue.
Isn't it beautiful?
It's so beautiful. Thank you, Sabrina. Ladies,
Thank
how was
you.
that for you? How did you love that? I love that. So,
Oh,
so I
thank
hope
you.
you enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Claudia-Sam. This was such a pleasure.
I'm so grateful that you were here. Ladies, you're welcome to check out Sabrina. If you go, she has an amazing free Chaos to Calm mini course. So I'm going to post the link. I don't know if I can do that straight from here or if I go in our group. I'm going to try to post it in the link somewhere so you can have it and so that you can go and get it. She's amazing, and I want you to take advantage of what she has to offer. So thank you so much, Sabrina. I'm so grateful that you were here. I'm so
Thank
grateful
you.
to know you and to have you in our community. Ladies, if you have questions, we'll be happy to answer them by message when you're done. And Cherie did say, close your eyes and keep your phone 6 feet away out of your energy field when you meditate. That's a great example because the thing is that it's the electromagnetic frequencies that are harmful to us that come from the internet, from wireless. So even if you shut your phone off, but you're standing next to your router for internet, it's not that much better. So it's just us to be more conscious. Just a little note on that.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
much.
And thank you so much to your beautiful community. And I'm so happy that you gave me this opportunity to share and to flow this energy, because this is why I do what I do, right? This aligns me. And so every time I'm able to offer this, it actually activates something within me. So thank you for the gift. And I'm sending all of you so much love. And I look forward to connecting more with you, Claudia-Sam, and with all of you as well.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, Gayleen. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you, Marsada. Thank you, Natalie, for joining us today. And thank you, Sabrina. I'm just filled with love. Mwah.
Bye.